Nationalities. When you're in a foreign country, the subject of nationalities naturally comes up a lot. It'd be nice if there were a simple rule that said all the words using nationalities are stressed on the first word. There isn't, of course. Take this preliminary quiz to see if you need to do this exercise. For simplicity's sake, we'll stick with one nationality, American. Exercise 133, Nationality Intonation Quiz. Pause the CD and stress one word in each of the following examples. Turn the CD back on and repeat after me. 1. An American guy. 2. An American restaurant. 3. American food. 4. An American teacher. 5. An English teacher. Exercise 134. Contrasting descriptive and set phrases. Repeat the following pairs. An English teacher teaches English. An English teacher is from England. An English book teaches the English language. An English book is on any subject, but it came from England. An English test tests a student on the English language. An English test is on any subject, but it deals with or came from England. English food is kippers for breakfast. An English restaurant serves kippers for breakfast. Intonation can indicate completely different meanings for otherwise similar words or phrases. For example, an English teacher teaches English, but an English teacher is from England. French class is where you study French, but French class is Gallic style and sophistication. An orange tree grows oranges, but an orange tree is any kind of tree that's been painted orange. To have your intonation tested, call 800-457-4255. Exercise 135. Contrast of compound nouns. In the following list of words, underline the element that should be stressed. Pause the CD. Afterwards, check the answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat after me. 1. The White House. 2. A white house. 3. A dark room. 4. A dark room. 5. Fifth Avenue. 6. Main Street. 7. A main street. 8. A hot dog. 9. A hot dog. 10. A baby blanket. 11. A baby's blanket. 12. A baby bird. 13. A blackbird. 14. A black bird. 15. A greenhouse. 16. A greenhouse. 17. A green thumb. 18. A parking ticket. 19. A one-way ticket. 20. An unpaid ticket. 21. Convenience store. 22. Convenience store. 23. To pick up. 24. A pickup truck. 25. 6 years old. 26. A 6-year-old. 27. 6 1/2. 28. A sugar bowl. 29. A wooden bowl. 30. A large bowl. 31. A mixing bowl. 32. A top hat. 33. A nice hat. 34. A straw hat. 35. A chairperson. 36. PhD. 37. IBM. 38. MIT. 39. USA. 40. ASAP. 41. A doorknob. 42. a glass door. 43, a locked door. 44, ice cream. 45, ice cream. 46, elementary. 47, a lemon tree. 48, Watergate. 49, the back gate. 50, the final year. 51, a yearbook. 52, United States. 53, New York. 54, Long Beach. 55, Central Park. 56, a raw deal. 57, a deal breaker. 58, the bottom line. 59, a bottom feeder. 60, a new low. Exercise 136. Description and set phrase test. Let's check and see if the concepts are clear. Pause the CD and underline or highlight the stressed word. Check the answer key beginning on page 113. Repeat after me. 1. He's a nice guy. 2. He's an American guy from San Francisco. 3. The cheerleader needs a rubber band to hold her ponytail. 4. The executive assistant needs a paperclip for the final report. 5. The law student took an English test in a foreign country. 6. The policeman saw a red car on the freeway in Los Angeles. 7. My old dog has long ears and a flea problem. 8. The new teacher broke his coffee cup on the first day. 9. His best friend has a broken cup in his other office. 10. Let's play football on the weekend in New York. 11. Jingle Bells is a nice song. 12. Where are my new shoes? 13. Where are my tennis shoes? 14. I have a headache from the heat wave in South Carolina. 15. The newlyweds took a long walk in Long Beach. 16. The little dog was sitting on the sidewalk. 17. The famous athlete changed clothes in the locker room. 18. The art exhibit was held in an empty room. 19. There was a class reunion at the high school. 20. The headlines indicated a new policy. 21. We got online and went to AmericanAccent.com. 22. The stock options were listed in the company directory. 23. All the second graders were out on the playground. Exercise 137. Descriptions and set phrases. Goldilocks. Read the story and stress the indicated words. Notice if they're a description, a set phrase, or contrast. For the next level of this topic, go to page 111. Repeat after me. There's a little girl. Her name is Goldilocks. She's in a sunny forest. She sees a small house. She knocks on the door, but no one answers. She goes inside. In the large room, there are 3 chairs. Goldilocks sits on the biggest chair, but it's too high. She sits on the middle-sized one, but it's too low. She sits on the small chair, and it's just right. On the table, there are 3 bowls. There's hot porridge in the bowls. She tries the first one, but it's too hot. The second one is too cold. And the third one is just right. So she eats it all. After that, she goes upstairs. She looks around. There are 3 beds. So she sits down. The biggest bed is too hard. The middle-sized bed is too soft. The little one is just right. So she lies down. Soon she falls asleep. In the meantime, the family of 3 bears comes home. The papa bear, the mama bear, and the baby bear. They look around. They say, "Who's been sitting in our chairs and eating our porridge?" Then they run upstairs. They say, "Who's been sleeping in our beds?" Goldilocks wakes up. She's very scared. She runs away. Goldilocks never comes back. Grammar in a nutshell. Everything you ever wanted to know about grammar, but were afraid to use. English is a chronological language. We just love to know when something happened, and this is indicated by the range and depth of our verb tenses. I had already seen it by the time she brought it in. As you probably learned in your grammar studies, the past perfect is an action in the past that occurred before a separate action in the past. Phew, not all languages do this. For example, Japanese is fairly casual about when things happened, but being a hierarchical language, it's very important to know what relationship the 2 people involved had. A high-level person with a low-level one, 2 peers, a man and a woman. All these things show up in Japanese grammar. Grammatically speaking, English is democratic. The confusing part is that in English the verb tenses are very important, but instead of putting them up on the peaks of a sentence, we throw them all deep down in the valleys. Therefore, 2 sentences with strong intonations, such as "dogs eat bones" and "the dogs will have eaten the bones," sound amazingly similar. Why? Because it takes the same amount of time to say both sentences since they have the same number of stresses. The 3 original words and the rhythm stay the same in these sentences, but the meaning changes as you add more stressed words. Articles and verb tense changes are usually not stressed. Now, let's see how this works in the exercises that follow. Exercise 138. Consistent noun stress and changing verb tenses. This is a condensed exercise for you to practice simple intonation with a wide range of verb tenses. When you do the exercise the first time, go through stressing only the nouns, "dogs eat bones." Practice this until you're quite comfortable with the intonation. The pronunciation and word connections are on the right, and the full verb tenses are on the far left. 1. The dogs eat the bones. 2. The dogs ate the bones. 3. The dogs are eating the bones. 4. The dogs will eat the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 10. The dogs will have eaten the bones. 11. The dogs ought to eat the bones. 12. The dogs should eat the bones. 13. The dogs shouldn't eat the bones. 14. The dogs should have eaten the bones. 15. The dogs shouldn't have eaten the bones. 16. The dogs could eat the bones. 17. The dogs couldn't eat the bones. 18. The dogs could have eaten the bones. 19. The dogs couldn't have eaten the bones. 20. The dogs might eat the bones. 21. The dogs might have eaten the bones. 22. The dogs must eat the bones. 23. The dogs must have eaten the bones. 24. The dogs can eat the bones. 25. The dogs can't eat the bones. Exercise 139. Consistent pronoun stress and changing verb tenses. This is the same as the previous exercise, except you now stress the verbs. They eat 'em. Practice this until you're quite comfortable with the intonation. Notice that in fluent speech, the TH of them is frequently dropped, as is the H in other object pronouns, him, her. The pronunciation and word connections are on the right, and the tense name is on the far left. 1. They eat 'em. 2. They ate 'em. 3. They're eating 'em. 4. They'll eat 'em. 5. They'd eat 'em. 6. They'd have eaten 'em. 7. The ones that have eaten 'em. 8. They've eaten 'em. 9. They'd eaten 'em. 10. They'll have eaten 'em. 11. They ought to eat 'em. 12. They should eat 'em. 13. They shouldn't eat 'em. 14. They should have eaten 'em. 15. They shouldn't have eaten 'em. 16. They could eat 'em. 17. They couldn't eat 'em. 18. They could have eaten 'em. 19. They couldn't have eaten 'em. 20. They might eat 'em. 21. They might have eaten 'em. 22. They must eat 'em. 23. They must have eaten 'em. 24. They can eat 'em. 25. They can't eat 'em. Exercise 140. Intonation in your own sentence. On the first of the numbered lines below, write a 3-word sentence that you frequently use, such as computers organize information or lawyers sign contracts, and put it through the 25 changes. This exercise will take you quite a bit of time, and it'll force you to rethink your perceptions of word sounds as related to spelling. It helps to use a plural noun that ends in a Z sound, boys, dogs, rather than an S sound, hats, books. Also, your sentence will flow better if your verb begins with a vowel sound, earns, owes, offers. When you've finished filling in all the upper lines of this exercise with your new sentence, use the guidelines from exercise 138 for the phonetic transcription. Remember, don't rely on spelling. Turn off the CD. Exercise 141, supporting words. For this next part of the intonation of grammatical elements, each sentence has a few extra words to help you get the meaning. Keep the same strong intonation that you used before, and add the new stress where you see the bold face. Use your rubber band. 1. The dogs eat the bones every day. 2. The dogs ate the bones last week. 3. The dogs are eating the bones right now. 4. The dogs will eat the bones if they're here. 5. The dogs would eat the bones if they were here. 6. The dogs would have eaten the bones if they'd been here. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones are sick. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones every day. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones by the time we got there. 10. The dogs will have eaten the bones by the time we get there. Exercise 142, contrast practice. Now, let's work with contrast. For example, the dogs that eat the bones and the dogs that eaten the bones are so close in sound, yet so far apart in meaning, that you need to make a special point of recognizing the difference by listening for content. Repeat each group of sentences using sound and intonation for contrast. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 4. The dogs will eat the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 10. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 11. The dogs ought to eat the bones. 24. The dogs can eat the bones. 25. The dogs can't eat the bones. Exercise 143. Yes, you can, or no, you can't. Next, you use a combination of intonation and pronunciation to make the difference between can and can't. Reduce the positive can to kun and stress the verb. Make the negative can't sound very short and stress both can't and the verb. This will contrast with the positive emphasized can, which is doubled, and the verb is not stressed. If you have trouble with can't before a word that starts with a vowel, such as open, put in a very small d. The keys can't open the locks. Repeat. I can do it. I can't do it. I can do it. I can't do it. Exercise 144, building an intonation sentence. Repeat after me the sentences listed in the following groups. 1. I bought a sandwich. 2. I said I bought a sandwich. 3. I said I think I bought a sandwich. 4. I said I really think I bought a sandwich. 5. I said I really think I bought a chicken sandwich. 6. I said I really think I bought a chicken salad sandwich. 7. I said I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich. 8. I said I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 9. I actually said I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 10. I actually said I really think I bought another half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 11. Can you believe I actually said I really think I bought another half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon? 1. I did it. 2. I did it again. 3. I already did it again. 4. I think I already did it again. 5. I said I think I already did it again. 6. I said I think I already did it again yesterday. 7. I said I think I already did it again the day before yesterday. 1. I want a ball. 2. I want a large ball. 3. I want a large red ball. 4. I want a large red bouncy ball. 5. I want a large red bouncy rubber ball. 6. I want a large red bouncy rubber basketball. 1. I want a raise. 2. I want a big raise. 3. I want a big impressive raise. 4. I want a big impressive annual raise. 5. I want a big impressive annual cost of living raise. Exercise 145, building your own intonation sentences. Build your own sentence using everyday words and phrases such as think, hope, nice, really, actually, even, this afternoon, big, small, pretty, and so on. Exercise 146, regular transition of nouns and verbs. In the list below, change the stress from the first syllable for nouns to the second syllable for verbs. This is a regular, consistent change. Intonation is so powerful that you'll notice that when the stress changes, the pronunciation of the vowels do too. Repeat. An accent. To accent. A concert. To concert. A conflict. To conflict. A contest. To contest. A contract. To contract. A contrast. To contrast. A convert. To convert. A convict. To convict. A default. To default. A desert. To desert. A discharge. To discharge. An envelope. To envelop. An incline. To incline. An influence. To influence. An insert. To insert. An insult. to insult. An object, to object. Perfect, to perfect. A permit, to permit. A present, to present. Produce, to produce. Progress, to progress. A project, to project. A pronoun, to pronounce. A protest, to protest. A rebel, to rebel. A recall, to recall. A record, to record. A reject, to reject. Research, to research. A subject, to subject. A survey, to survey. A suspect, to suspect. Exercise 147. Regular transitions of adjectives and verbs. A different change occurs when you go from an adjective or a noun to a verb. The stress stays in the same place, but the MAT in an adjective is completely reduced to mt, whereas in a verb, it's a full A sound, mate. Repeat. Advocate, to advocate. Animate, to animate. Alternate, to alternate. Appropriate, to appropriate. Approximate, to approximate. Articulate, to articulate. Associate, to associate. Deliberate, to deliberate. Discriminate, to discriminate. Duplicate, to duplicate. Elaborate, to elaborate. An estimate, to estimate. Graduate, to graduate. Intimate, to intimate. Moderate, to moderate. Predicate, to predicate. Separate, to separate. Exercise 148. Regular transition of adjectives and verbs. Mark the intonation or indicate the long vowel on the italicized word, depending which part of speech it is. Pause the CD and mark the proper syllable. See answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat. 1. You need to insert a paragraph here on this newspaper insert. 2. How can you object to this object? 3. I'd like to present you with this present. 4. Would you care to elaborate on his elaborate explanation? 5. The manufacturer couldn't recall if there'd been a recall. 6. The religious convert wanted to convert the world. 7. The political rebels wanted to rebel against the world. 8. The mogul wanted to record a new record for his latest artist. 9. If you perfect your intonation, your accent will be perfect. 10. Due to the drought, the fields didn't produce much. 11. Unfortunately, City Hall wouldn't permit them to get a permit. 12. Have you heard that your associate is known to associate with gangsters? 13. How much do you estimate that the estimate will be? 14. The facilitator wanted to separate the general topic into separate categories. The miracle technique. Regaining long-lost listening skills. The trouble with starting accent training after you know a great deal of English is that you know a great deal about English. You have a lot of preconceptions and, unfortunately, misconceptions about the sound of English. A child can learn any language. Every sound of every language is within every child. So what happens with adults? People learn their native language and stop listening for the sounds that they never hear, and then they lose the ability to hear those sounds. Later, when you study a foreign language, you learn a lot of spelling rules that take you still further away from the real sound of that language in this case English. What we're going to do here is teach you to hear again. So many times you've heard what a native speaker said, translated it into your own accent, and repeated it with your accent. Why? Because you knew how to say it. Exercise 149. Tell me what I say. The first thing you're going to do is write down exactly what I say. It'll be nonsense to you for two reasons. First, because I'll be saying sound units, not word units. Second, because I'll be starting at the end of the sentence instead of the beginning. Listen carefully and write down exactly what you hear, regardless of meaning. The first sound is given to you. Chur. Chur. Nay. Von. Prue. Whim. To. Temp. Man. Diz. Are. Once you've written it down, check with the version below. Read it aloud to yourself and try to hear what the regular English is. Don't look ahead until you've figured out the sense of it. Art is man's attempt to improve on nature. Frequently, people will mistakenly hear are these instead of art is. Not only are the two pronunciations different, but the intonation and meaning would also be different. Art is man's attempt to improve on nature. Are these man's attempts to improve on nature? Exercise 150. Listening for pure sounds. Again, listen carefully and write the sounds you hear. The answers are below. Sunt. Ruh. Foe. Zno. Ha. Der. Laugh. The second one. Za. Ni. Da. Quell. Were. Third. Gen. Na. Lur. Ta. Chiz. Tea. Ta. Here are the answers. 1. Laughter has no foreign accent. 2. Work well done is art. 3. To teach is to learn again. Exercise 151. Extended listening practice. Let's do a few more pure sound exercises to fine-tune your ear. Remember, start at the end and fill in the blanks right to left, then read them back left to right. Write whichever symbols are easiest for you to read back. There are clues sprinkled around for you, and all the answers are in the answer key beginning on page 193. 1. Bull. Sa. Pa. Doll. Fa. Date. Da. Vi. Ha. Ta. Like. I. 2. Dird. Core. Ba. Dits. Fray. Ma. I. 3. Gen. Da. Vi. Ver. Woe. Go. Let's. 4. Rower. There. Na. Ruh. Fur. Doff. Di. Puh. duh, try. 5. Der, ray, per, ra, there, ya, with the, ver, do, ki, ta. 6. Did, day, nup, bi, vol, tsa, cown, ya, the. 7. Blum, pra, the, bout, sa, fact, ma, da, sen. 8. Dit, bow, ka, thing, ven, knee, do. 9. Yit, k, lo, pi, ho, we. 10. Take, miss, ka, may, few, de, spa, the, wan, chew, pu, li, ri, hill. Here are the answers. 1. I'd like to have it at 8 if at all possible. 2. I'm afraid it's back-ordered. 3. Let's go over it again. 4. Try to put it off for another hour. 5. Talk it over with the other operator. 6. The accounts have all been updated. 7. Send him a fax about the problem. 8. Don't even think about it. 9. We hope he'll okay it. 10. He'll really put you on the spot if you make a mistake. Reduce sounds. The downside of intonation. Reduced sounds are all those extra sounds created by an absence of lip, tongue, jaw, and throat movement. They're a principal function of intonation and are truly indicative of the American sound. Exercise 152, Reducing Articles. The man, a girl. The apple, an orange. The best, a banana. The egg, an opening. The last one, a computer. The easy way, an interview. Exercise 153. Read aloud from the right-hand column. The intonation is marked for you. 2. Today, tonight, tomorrow, to work, to school, to the store. We have to go now. He went to work. They hope to find it. I can't wait to find out. We don't know what to do. Don't jump to conclusions. To be or not to be. He didn't get to go. He told me to help. She told you to get it. I go to work. At 1:45. The only way to get it is, you've got to pay to get it. We plan to do it. Let's go to lunch. The score was 4-6. It's the only way to do it, so to speak. I don't know how to say it. Go to page 8. Show me how to get it. You need to know when to do it. Who's to blame? At. We're at home. I'll see you at lunch. Dinner's at 5. Leave him at the door. The meeting's at 1. He's at the post office. They're at the bank. I'm at school. I'll see you at 11. He's at a meeting. She laughed at his idea. One at a time. We got it at an auction. The show started at 8. The dog jumped out at us. I was at a friend's house. Can you do it? Give it to me. Buy it tomorrow. It can wait. Read it twice. Forget about it. Give it a try. Let it alone. Take it away. I got it in London. What is it about? Let's try it again. Look, there it is. 4. This is for you. It's for my friend. A table for 4, please. We planned it for later. For example, for instance, what is this for? What'd you do it for? Who'd you get it for? From. It's from the IRS. I'm from Arkansas. There's a letter from Bob. This letter's from Alaska. Who's it from? Where are you from? In. It's in the bag. What's in it? I'll be back in a minute. This movie? Who's in it? Come in. He's in America. N. He's an American. I got an A in English. He got an F in algebra. He had an accident. We want an orange. He didn't have an excuse. I'll be there in an instant. It's an easy mistake to make. And ham and eggs, bread and butter, coffee with cream and sugar? No, lemon and sugar. And some more cookies? They kept going back and forth. We watched it again and again. He did it over and over. We learned by trial and error. Or, soup or salad, now or later, more or less, left or right, for here or to go. Are you going up or down? R. What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you planning on doing? How are you? Those are no good. How are you doing? The kids are still asleep. Your. How's your family? Where are your keys? You're American, aren't you? Tell me when you're ready. Is this your car? You're late again, Bob. Which one is yours? 1. Which one is better? One of them is broken. I'll use the other one. I like the red one, Edwin. That's the last one. The next one will be better. Here's one for you. Let 'em go one by one. It's the best. What's the matter? What's the problem? I have to go to the bathroom. Who's the boss around here? Give it to the dog. Put it in the drawer. It's a present. You need a break. Give him a chance. Let's get a new pair of shoes. Can I have a Coke, please? Is that a computer? Where's a public telephone? Oh, it's the top of the line. It's a state-of-the-art printer. As a matter of fact, get out of here. Practice all of the time. Today's the 1st of May. What's the name of that movie? That's the best of all. Some of them All of them. Most of them. None of them. Any of them. The rest of them. Can. Can you speak English? I can only do it on Wednesday. A can opener can open cans. Can I help you? Can you do it? We can try it later. I hope you can sell it. No one can fix it. Let me know if you can find it. Had. Jack had had enough. Bill had forgotten again. What had he done to deserve it? We'd already seen it. He'd never been there. Had you ever had one? Where'd he hidden it? Bob said he'd looked into it. Would. He would have helped if. Would he like one? Do you think he'd do it? Why would I tell her? We'd see it again if. He'd never be there on time. Would you ever have one? Was. He was only trying to help. Mark was American. Where was it? How was it? That was great. Who was with you? She was very clear. When was the War of 1812? What? What time is it? What's up? What's on your agenda? What do you mean? What'd you mean? What'd you do about it? What took so long? What do you think of this? What'd you do then? I don't know what he wants. Some. Some are better than others. There are some leftovers. Let's buy some ice cream. Could we get some other ones? Take some of mine. Would you like some more? Would you like some more? Do you have some ice? Do you have some ice? Exercise 154. Intonation and pronunciation of that. That is a special case because it serves three different grammatical functions. The relative pronoun and the conjunction are reducible. The demonstrative pronoun cannot be reduced to a schwa. It must stay a. Relative pronoun. The car that she ordered is red. Conjunction. He said that he liked it. Demonstrative. Why did you do that? Combination. I know that he'll read that book that I told you about. Exercise 155. Crossing out reduced sounds. Pause the CD and cross out any sound that's not clearly pronounced, including to, for, and, that, then, the soft I, and unstressed syllables that do not have strong vowel sounds. Exercise 156. Reading reduced sounds. Repeat the paragraph after me. Although you're getting rid of the vowel sounds, you want to maintain a strong intonation and let the sounds flow together. For the first reading of this paragraph, it's helpful to keep your teeth clenched together to reduce excess jaw and lip movement. Let's begin. Hello, my name is Anne. I'm taking American accent training. There's a lot to learn, but I hope to make it as enjoyable as possible. I should pick up on the American intonation pattern pretty easily, although the only way to get it is to practice all the time. I use the up and down or peaks and valleys intonation more than I used to. I've been paying attention to pitch, too. It's like walking down a staircase. I've been talking to a lot of Americans lately, and they tell me that I'm easier to understand. Anyway, I could go on, but the important thing is to listen well and sound good. Well, what do you think? Do I? Word groups and phrasing. Pauses for related thoughts, ideas, or for breathing. By now, you've begun developing a strong intonation with clear peaks and reduced valleys, so you're ready for the next step. You may find yourself reading the paragraph in exercise 115 like this. Hello, my name is so-and-so. I'm taking American accent training. There's a lot to learn, but I hope to make it as enjoyable as possible. If so, your audience won't completely comprehend or enjoy your presentation. In addition to intonation, there's another aspect of speech that indicates meaning. This can be called phrasing or tone. Have you ever caught just a snippet of a conversation in your own language and somehow known how to piece together what came before or after the part you heard? This has to do with phrasing. In a sentence, phrasing tells the listener where the speaker is at the moment, where the speaker is going, and if the speaker is finished or not. Notice that the intonation stays on the nouns. Exercise 157. Phrasing. Repeat after me. Dogs eat bones. Dogs eat bones, but cats eat fish. Or, as we all know, dogs eat bones. Dogs eat bones, kibbles, and meat. Do dogs eat bones? Do dogs eat bones? Dogs eat bones, don't they? Dogs eat bones, don't they? He asked if dogs ate bones. Do dogs eat bones? He asked. Exercise 158. Creating word groups. Break the paragraph into natural word groups. Mark every place where you think a pause is needed with a slash. Pause the CD to do your marking. Exercise 159. Practicing word groups. When I read the paragraph this time, I'll exaggerate the pauses. Although we're working on word groups here, remember, I don't want you to lose your intonation. Repeat each sentence group after me. Hello. My name is Anne. I'm taking American accent training. There's a lot to learn, but I hope to make it as enjoyable as possible. I should pick up on the American intonation pattern pretty easily, although the only way to get it is to practice all of the time. I use the up and down or peaks and valleys intonation more than I used to. I've been paying attention to pitch, too. It's like walking down a staircase. I've been talking to a lot of Americans lately, and they tell me that I'm easier to understand. Anyway, I could go on, but the important thing is to listen well and sound good. Well, what do you think? Do I? Next, back up the CD and practice the word groups 3 times using strong intonation. Then, pause the CD and practice 3 more times on your own. When reading, your pauses should be neither long nor dramatic, just enough to give your listener time to digest what you're saying. Exercise 160, Tag Endings. Pause the CD and complete each sentence with the tag ending. Use the same verb, but with the opposite polarity. Positive becomes negative, and negative becomes positive. Then repeat after me. Check the answer key beginning on page 193. Pronunciation. Did he? Does he? Was he? Has he? Is he? Will he? Would he? Can he? Wouldn't you? Shouldn't I? Won't he? Didn't he? Hasn't he? Wouldn't he? Isn't he? Isn't it? Doesn't it? Aren't I? Won't you? Don't you? Can't you? Could you? Would you? 1. The new clerk is very slow, isn't he? 2. But he can improve, can he? 3. She doesn't type very well, does she? 4. They lost their way, didn't they? 5. You don't think so, do you? 6. I don't think it's easy, is it? 7. I'm your friend, aren't I? 8. You won't be coming, will you? 9. He keeps the books, doesn't he? 10. We have to close the office, don't we? 11. We've closed the office, haven't we? 12. We had to close the office, didn't we? 13. We had the office closed, didn't we? 14. We'd already closed the office, hadn't we? 15. We'd better close the office, hadn't we? 16. We'd rather close the office, wouldn't we? 17. The office is closed, hasn't it? 18. You couldn't tell, could you? 19. You'll be working late tonight, won't you? 20. He should have been here by now, shouldn't he? 21. He should be promoted, shouldn't he? 22. I didn't send the fax, did I? 23. I won't get a raise this year, will I? 24. You use the computer, don't you? 25. You're used to the computer, aren't you? 26. You used to use the computer, didn't you? 27. You never used to work Saturdays, did you? 28. That's better, isn't it? The basic techniques introduced in this chapter are pitch, stress, the staircase, and musical notes, reduced sounds, word groups, and phrasing. In chapters 2 through 13, we refine and expand this knowledge to cover every sound of the American accent. Chapter 2, Word Connections. As mentioned in the previous chapter, in American English, words are not pronounced one by one. Usually, the end of one word attaches to the beginning of the next word. This is also true for initials, numbers, and spelling. Part of the glue that connects sentences is an underlying hum or drone that only breaks when you come to a period, and sometimes not even then. You have this underlying hum in your own language, and it helps a great deal toward making you sound like a native speaker. Once you have a strong intonation, you need to connect all those stair steps together so that each sentence sounds like one long word. This chapter is going to introduce you to the idea of liaisons, the connections between words, which allow us to speak in sound groups rather than in individual words. Just as we went over where to put intonation, here you're going to learn how to connect words. Once you understand and learn to use this technique, you can make the important leap from this practice book to other materials and your own conversation. To make it easier for you to read, liaisons are written like this. They tell me that I'm easier. You've already encountered some liaisons in exercises 138, 149, and 153. It could also be written, they tell me that I'm easier, but it'd be too hard to read. Exercise 2-1, Spelling and Pronunciation. Read the following sentences. The last two sentences should be pronounced exactly the same no matter how they're written. It's the sound that's important, not the spelling. That I'm easier. They tell me that I'm easier. They tell me that I'm easier to understand. They tell me that I'm easier to understand. Liaison Rule 1, Consonant-Vowel. Words are connected when a word ends in a consonant sound and the next word starts with a vowel sound, including the semivowels W, Y, and R. Exercise 2-2, Word Connections. My name is, because I've, picked up on the American intonation. In the preceding example, the word name ends in a consonant sound, The E is silent and doesn't count. And is starts with a vowel sound, I. So name is just naturally flows together. In because I've, the Z sound at the end of because and the I sound of I blend together smoothly. When you say the last line, pick up on the American intonation, you can feel each sound pushing into the next. Exercise 2-3, spelling and number connections. You also use liaisons in spelling and numbers. LA, 902-5050. Exercise 2-4, consonant-vowel liaison practice. Pause the CD and reconnect the following words. On personal pronouns, it's common to drop the H. See answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat after me. Hold on. Turn over. Tell her I miss her. 1. Read only. 2. Fall off. 3. Follow up on. 4. Come in. 5. Call him. 6. Sell it. 7. Take out. 8. Fade away. 9. 6-0. 10. MA. Liaison Rule 2. Consonant-consonant. Words are connected when a word ends in a consonant sound, and the next one starts with a consonant that's in a similar position. What is a similar position? Let's find out. Exercise 2-5, consonant-consonant liaisons. Say the sound of each group of letters out loud, the sound of the letter, not the name. B is B, not B. There are 3 general locations, the lips, behind the teeth, or in the throat. If a word ends with a sound created in the throat, and the next word starts with a sound from that same general location, these words are going to be linked together. The same with the other 2 locations. Repeat after me. At the lips, P, B, F, V, M, W. Behind the teeth, T, D, Ch, J, O, N, S, Z, Sh, J, Y. In the throat, K, G, H, Exercise 2-6, consonant-consonant liaisons. I just didn't get the chance. I've been late twice. In the preceding examples, you can see that because the ending st of just and the beginning d of didn't are so near each other in the mouth, it's not worth the effort to start the sound all over again, so they just flow into each other. You don't say, I just didn't get to the chance, but do say, I just didn't get the chance. In the same way, it's too much work to say, I've been late twice, so you say it almost as if it were a single word. I've been late twice. The sound of TH is a special case. It's a floater between areas. The sound is sometimes created by the tongue popping out from between the teeth, and other times on the back of the top teeth, combining with various letters to form a new composite sound. For instance, S moves forward and the F moves back to meet at the midpoint between the 2. Exercise 2-7, liaisons with TH combination. When the TH combination connects with certain sounds, the 2 sounds blend together to form a composite sound. In the following example, see how the TH moves back and the L moves forward to meet in a new middle position. Repeat after me. With lemon. With nachos. Both times. With delivery. Both sizes. With zeal. Both charges. with juice. In the, was that, hid those. Exercise 2.8. Consonant-consonant liaison practice. Pause the CD and reconnect the following words as shown in the models. Check the answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat. Hard times. With luck. 1. Business deal. 2. Credit check. 3. The top file. 4. Sell 9 new cars. 5. Sit down. 6. Some plans need luck. 7. Check cashing. 8. Let them make conditions. 9. Had the. 10. Both days. Liaison Rule 3. Vowel, vowel. When a word ending in a vowel sound is next to one beginning with a vowel sound, they're connected with a glide between the two vowels. A glide is either a slight y sound or a slight w sound. How do you know which one to use? This will take care of itself. The position your lips are in will dictate either y or w. Go away. I also need the other one. For example, if a word ends in O, your lips are going to be in the forward position, so a W, a W, quite naturally leads into the next sound. Go away. You don't want to say go away and break the undercurrent of your voice. Run it all together. Go away. After a long E sound, your lips will be pulled back far enough to create a Y glide or liaison. I also need the other one. Don't force this sound too much, though. It's not a strong pushing sound. I also need the other one would sound really weird. Exercise 2.9, Vowel, Vowel Liaison Practice. Pause the CD and reconnect the following words as shown in the models. Add a Y glide after an E sound and a W glide after an U sound. Don't forget that the sound of the American O is really O-U. Check the answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat. She isn't. Who is? 1. Go anywhere. 2. So honest. 3. Through are. 4. You are. 5. He is. 6. Do I? 7. I asked. 8. To open. 9. She always. 10. Too often. Liaison Rule 4. T, D, S, or Z plus Y. When the letter or sound of T, D, S, or Z is followed by a word that starts with Y, or its sound, both sounds are connected. These letters and sounds connect not only with Y, but they do so as well with the initial unwritten Y. Exercise 2.10, T, D, S, or Z plus Y liaisons. Repeat the following. What's your name? Can't you do it? Actually. Don't you like it? Wouldn't you? Haven't you? No, not yet. I'll let you know. Can I get you a drink? We thought you weren't coming. I'll bet you $10 he forgot. Is that your final answer? Natural, perpetual, virtual. Did you see it? How'd you like it? Could you tell? Where'd you send your check? What'd your family think? Did you find your keys? We followed your instructions. Congratulations. Education. Individual. Graduation. Gradual. Yes, you are. Insurance. Bless you. Press your hands together. Can you dress yourself? You can pass your exams this year. I'll try to guess your age. Let him gas your car for you. How's your family? How was your trip? Who's your friend? Where's your mom? When's your birthday? She says you're okay. Who does your hair? Casual, visual, usual, version, vision. Exercise 211, T, D, S, or Z plus Y liaison practice. Pause the CD and reconnect or rewrite the following words. Remember that there may be a yes sound that is not written. Check the answer key beginning on page 193. Putcher, gradual. 1. Did you? 2. Who's your? 3. Gesture. 4. Gesture. 5. Miss you. 6. Tissue. 7. Got your. 8. Where's your? 9. Congratulations. 10. Had your. Exercise 212. Finding liaisons and glides. Pause the CD, and in the following paragraph, connect as many of the words as possible. Mark your liaisons as we've done in the first two sentences. Add the y and w glides between vowels. Practice reading the paragraph 3 times, focusing on running your words together. Turn the CD back on and repeat after me as I read. I'm going to exaggerate the linking of the words, drawing it out much longer than would be natural. Hello, my name is Zan. I'm taking American accent training. There's a lot to learn, but I hope to make it as enjoyable as possible. I should pick up on the American intonation pattern pretty easily, although the only way to get it is to practice all of the time. I use the up and down or peaks and valleys intonation more than I used to. I've been paying attention to pitch, too. It's like walking down a staircase. I've been talking to a lot of Americans lately, and they tell me that I'm easier to understand. Anyway, I could go on, but the important thing is to listen well and sound good. Well, what do you think? Do I?